It was just another quiet Saturday in the town of Brookridge. The kind of place where everyone knew each other by name, where the smell of fresh-baked bread wafted out of local bakeries, and where the leaves painted the sidewalks in gold and rust. Main Street was humming with small-town life, kids licking ice cream cones, couples walking hand in hand, and seniors like Harold Lawson taking their usual strolls. Harold, or Hal, as everyone called him, wasn't just another elderly man with a cane and stories no one asked about. He was 90 years old, but beneath the wrinkles and slow gait was a man who had lived a life of courage. A Marine in the Pacific during World War II, Hal had seen the unthinkable and returned with a purple heart and a smile that refused to quit. He had buried friends, lost a wife to cancer, and watched the world change in ways both beautiful and heartbreaking. Every day around noon, Hal would walk to the Memorial Park on Main Street, sit at the same wooden bench beneath the statue of a soldier, and feed the pigeons. It was his moment of peace, his way of remembering fallen brothers, and of staying connected to a world that moved too fast around him. But today was different. As he neared his bench, he noticed a group of teenagers lounging around it. For boys, maybe 16 or 17, blasting music from a speaker, vaping, laughing at TikTok videos, and tossing their fast food wrappers onto the ground. Hal didn't judge them. He was young once too. But the bench was more than wood and nails to him, it was sacred. With quiet dignity, he approached. "Excuse me, boys," he said, his voice soft but steady, "do you mind if I sit here for a moment?" The tallest boy scoffed. "This ain't a nursing home, Pops." Hal smiled patiently. "I served in the Marines. This bench honors men I knew. I'd just like to sit a while." Another boy rolled his eyes and whispered to his friend, "Here we go. Another war story." And then, without warning, one of them nudged Hal. It wasn't brutal, but for a 90-year-old man, it didn't need to be. His cane slipped out of his grip, and he stumbled, falling to one knee. A woman across the street gasped. A couple stopped in their tracks. But no one moved. It wasn't out of cruelty, it was shock. That strange paralysis that comes when you witness something so wrong, so unexpected, that your body doesn't know how to react. The boys stood over him, laughing uneasily. "You good, Grandpa?" one sneered. Hal looked up, not with anger, but with something deeper. A tired disappointment. "I fought for your right to be here," he said softly. "But I didn't fight so you could forget how to be human." For a moment, silence. Then a voice cut through the air. "Is that how you treat a Marine?" A young man, maybe in his late 20s, had stepped out of the cafe across the street. Tall, square-jawed, wearing a sweatshirt that read Semper Fi. He walked straight to Hal and helped him up. "You all right, sir?" Hal nodded. "Takes more than a few boys with loud mouths to bring me down." The young man's eyes sharpened. "What unit?" "2nd Battalion, 5th Marines," Hal said, brushing off his pants. The younger man straightened. "1st Battalion, 8th, Afghanistan." "Hang tight, sir." He turned, pulled out his phone, and made a call. The words were simple. Calm. But they hit with the force of a drumbeat. They disrespected a Marine veteran. The teenagers laughed it off at first, still unaware. But 20 minutes later, everything changed. 3 matte black SUVs rolled down Main Street and pulled up beside the park. People started gathering, unsure of what was happening. Out stepped 6 U.S. Marines in dress blues. Not shouting. Not aggressive. Just walking, heads high, eyes forward. They approached Hal. One of them saluted. "Sir. We heard what happened. We're here to stand with you." Hal blinked, overwhelmed. "I don't need all this." A young Marine replied, with respect, "Sir, it's not about need. It's about honor." They set up a folding chair, more comfortable than the bench, and placed a clean American flag across Hal's lap. One brought hot coffee. Another offered to clean the bench and pick up the trash the boys had left behind. A third Marine kneeled beside Hal and said, "Tell me about your service, sir. I want to hear it." The crowd swelled. Phones came out. But this wasn't for likes. It was reverence. The teenagers stood at a distance now, silent. Uneasy. Then, slowly, one of them walked forward. The same boy who had pushed Hal. "I'm sorry," he mumbled. We didn't know who you were." Hal looked up, his eyes soft but serious. "You don't need to know who I am. You need to remember who you are. You're better than what you did." The boy looked at the Marines. One of them extended a hand. "We were punks too, once. You want to learn what it means to be a man? Come train with us sometime." The boy took the handshake. And something shifted in him, in all of them. That day became more than just a story in a small town. Someone had posted a photo of Hal sitting proudly among the Marines, with a simple caption, "Honor walked these streets today." It went viral overnight. But Hal didn't care about social media. As the sun began to set, he looked out at the birds fluttering around the statue, smiled faintly, and whispered to himself. "Still standing, boys. Still standing." Disrespect can echo loudly, but so can dignity, compassion, and honor. Kindness isn't a weakness. It's the quiet power that changes hearts, and sometimes, even a single act of compassion can ripple through a community like a wave of light. No matter how far we've drifted, we can always choose to come back to respect, and to humanity.